Well, it's 3 in the morning. They're still outside. Seriously. Give it up. Okay? Okay. Last video. A lot of them gave up, but they need to realize how stupid they are. No sitting judge would write a corner for somebody to be watched in their home. No one would be that stupid. Say we're going to have private citizens stalked. We're going to take the right to privacy away, the right to remain quiet, right to an attorney, right to a fair court trial, bail bond. And then we're going to tell everybody they can mistreat her and no one can help her. Nobody's that stupid. And they're definitely not going to file it in a court that they're having private citizens stopped and take all those civil rights away. State of Ohio would arrest them. And then the Department of Justice. For every civil right broke, it's 1 to 10. Legal search and seizure is 1 to 5. Conflict of interest 1 to 10. So we're the main cop that went to Dave. Okay. Liberty House share June 19. Okay, not only did it tell him the worst thing he ever did wrong, honey, is bend over him probably. We can wipe that one out. But he made a mistake in front of him on the phone. He made up a case to watch her before. That's funny. He didn't want to her before. That's funny. She must really like him. Made up is fake. Fake is fraud. Fraud is a scam. What they were laughing about was the framing. Because she liked him. Michelle, retired Judge Pete's daughter. It's just, I told you I went to the Portage. First I went to Ravenna Place, and I emailed them everything. Chief of Police called me back. None of this is funny. I asked all our officers. None of them did this to you. It must have been the Portage County Sheriff's doing it to you. Oh, you know me. Someone's gonna do something wrong, I'm gonna fry you. So I went to the Portage County Sheriff's. None of our officers were in your home before a protective blankets. None of them. I said it's the police and agencies can only be in a home under threat of life. And they have to speak to everyone before they start. So Fourth Amendment, yes. You can never look or listen otherwise. Yes. They're lying to people. They had a corner and watched me. He went like this, okay? Lady sheriff's behind the door. None of this is funny. Somebody needs to look into this. I said it would be illegal. He said, for one thing, I want you to know, none of our officers were in your home before. And we had nothing to do with it. Okay? They had nothing to do with it. Ravenna had nothing to do with it. It's retired Judge Pete's family. Some of them maybe crooked cops on their own and some drug dealers. They're friends, the people in the store that day. Great to help, they call it family. Okay? No sitting judge would be stupid enough to write a court order to have someone watched in their home and take the right to privacy and all those other rights away. State of Ohio finds out they were doing something like that, they would put them in jail. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. These people, they were chanting outside my apartment. The ladies were screaming. There actually is a frosty game going down here. It is a fraud. It's actually funny. This whole thing's a fraud. It's a scam. It's actually a big scam. Where they were around saying, I have charges, da 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 da. They thought if they came up to me and told me we had a corner and watch, we made up a case to watch it because you're that stupid to tell me that. And everybody else. Then, we photoshopped a shower scene in the other room. Well, other people found out, went to the Canton Police. Where you had hand marks, you had bruises, you were sick, you were dizzy. We sued him. Well, actually, it was asked to see. We were date rape drugging you until you say something stupid. Now we can put you in jail for it. No, you can't. They think I'm actually that stupid, and they can extort money. My one friend used to work for the prosecutor's office. He started laughing ear to ear. He said, Karen, it really is a big fraud. They thought they could trick you into thinking they could extort money or get you in trouble for that. It's a big fraud. This is exactly what it is. He even told me any police being in somebody's home, except for those special state protected line cases registered with those stipulations, they get 1 to 5 years. Or up to 5 years. I'm sorry, up to 5. That's why all the cops are denying. No other cop is stupid. That's where Officer Reinhardt laughed. It comes down to no matter what. It comes down to this. Till Will took your statement at the Canton FBI, and he agreed to protect you. They couldn't even be in your home. It's legal to be in somebody's home no matter what. It'd be illegal to look or listen. The only thing can happen. The local police are not stupid. So when they come up with a fake corner and watch me, they would have to report that judge, if he's a sitting judge, to the Department of Justice in the Ohio Supreme Court to arrest him for having people stalked in their home and taking away civil rights. Yeah. You know, I don't even care if somebody said, well, they're crazy as a June bug. Well, you can be as crazy as a June bug as you want in your house. We can't come over and watch you and knock on the door and do a well check. Hey, everything okay? You know, I mean, it's to the point, it's so ridiculous. How can people fall for this scam? You can hear them from outside. And they even bragged they paid off the agent. Of course they did. Because I got to thinking, I gave all that information to the hotline. Talked to the lady for like 40 minutes. 2 attempts, money disappearing, David getting caught in the system, that Katie leaving threats that her church is going to have me murdered in front of 3 people. My God. While all the bad attempts are happening, she's breaking out in the mall they were doing it. They never arrested her. Do you know, if he wouldn't have been a corrupt agent, he would have called me up and said, Karen, this is crazy. You've had 2 documented attempts through the Perry police. One is the main subject, the other one is linked back to that church, and that church is bragging they're going to kill you. Do you have any more witnesses, evidence, anything, or do you want to go on a witness protection program? What do you want to do about this? Because the cults are evil, and you've had several attempts. Now they're stating it's them. And where he said he needed a witness, and he got rude when I tried to tell him about Huntington Bank. Don't get rude with victims. You let them cry and blubber everything out. In the middle of the crying and blubbering, there's evidence. You go get it. You get the surveillance and the people around there, and you pull everybody's phone calls and find out if anybody called that person. You find out who that person is. I need a witness. You need a witness. I give it 3 to the hotline. You didn't want to hear that Dave called that guy. He made that big a mistake, didn't he? Or the Pizza Hut lady called him, or Dave called for more. They did corrupt him. Like her mother bragged August 10th or 11th in Walmart 62 by the hair salon. Came up and bragged how they called him and told him about Michelle, and he understood and set up. Nobody ever helped me. I'm thinking, God, it was a setup. Then I got thinking about the phone call. I called the 1-800 line. I'll have an agent call you back. And then him needing a witness, I gave him 3. I told you, he said he was part of the Canton FBI in the courthouse. I Googled it, make sure he's legit with all the cray-crays. Someone telling on me, the men having a copy of my phone. Make sure he's real when they threatened to kill Dixie and the baby. And I found him there. Lady yelled out. I told him who I was. I was working with him with the parts of my life. Well, he said he's got a list I'm working on. I could hear him in the background. He didn't care. He didn't care there was a head on a baby's life. An attempt son. Asked some police. No, the stake is... Now, he did open to cover his ass. He listed me informant. Never had to stay quiet. That was Dave's girlfriend's family stalking me. And they kept me drugged up for days until they came up with that stunt to have that man pretend to be FBI. I called Will back, go up to Pamers for Dave to confront me. They drug me up so I couldn't hardly tell him anything the next day. That's bad. And then corrupting Will. That was real bad. But to cover his ass, because I had all the police reports and the 3 witnesses, you can't just let it go. Because a real good agent would say, my God, Karen, what do you want to do with this? You got 2 attempts. You got 3 witnesses that are trying to kill you. Do you want to go in the witness protection program? You want to get you out of here? Do you have more witnesses, more whatever? Da, 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 da. You don't get rude. Ever with a victim. Ever. Ever with a victim. Okay? But he listed me informed. Put me in police protective custody. Had a cop talk to Dave. Okay? Started carrying around the house staircase. 4 cops in uniform. I was found innocent and carried around the house staircase. Like I said, where they were following everybody around, they actually caught Melissa friends with the girlfriend, Michelle, my ex's girlfriend, and giggling, laughing, and telling the kids to make up these mean games to pretend. All the police knew that. They laughed about it. Like if people just, like that Kurt. Where Kurt, they said, is involved. Kurt just found out those kids are lying. He's slow. He is. That was last year. These people are slow and a slow guy. Now, some police tell everybody it's documented mean games to pretend. It's like what they told Flora on Thanksgiving of 18, an illegally bugged house. They wanted a house for Auntie Shell and Papa and Grandma to get out. Then later on to Flora. They're making everything up. Now, one of the main cops that was over this, a young guy with black hair and glasses, okay? They would say, John's here to take care of Karen. Look across Walmart, bring 20, 30 guys, okay? He'd yell out, it's ridiculous for any child to be afraid of Karen. She's nothing but good in law. And where I sit and tell people where to find the evidence, you know, because I know everything's bad. I quit talking to everybody for like 4 days. Then I started again. Showed up at Walmart with a group of guys. I knew she couldn't resist us. I know, it's great. We got an informant that talks to us. Right? He showed up January 12, 22, Walgreens, North Main. I'm getting a COVID virus shot around 5 o'clock. I go to leave. Goons are following me. When those kids get caught stating, they made everything up. They did. Even in front of my other clients, they have admitted that Melissa knew they were lying. They didn't want anybody to help me. Their games of pretend. Like Flora said, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. It was a game of pretend laughing about. But they actually caught him saying it. Carrying around, and Massillon police, they'll tell you. Documented mean games of pretend. Family interview. Everybody spoke highly. It was not my integrity, but them murdering. It was so bad. I'm almost getting shot driving. They have stalkers. There's a shooting night. People breaking in and stabbing me with needles. And that fucked up Katie is out in the mall still telling people it's her church trying to kill me. Is she in jail? No. But it was that bad. They thought they were unstoppable. And nobody stopped them. They did pay well off. He understood about Michelle. She's sitting on a beach with a margarita. Yeah. Oh, question. Who's Harry? mention this man named Harry around, okay? And when people mention him, people scatter. I don't know why. I don't know. But some people were being mean to me, and they mentioned his name, and people scattered like children. It was comical. And they've mentioned him several times. And people act afraid of him. Who is he? I don't know. But one of the guys were talking to him. Harry, it's not true what people say about her. Well, if you actually watch the case, I'm found innocent in it. Like they said last year. Now this is funny. We pulled the case, she's found innocent. They were like the preventive police or the undercover police. Trust me, we were never that walked around me in Walmart. Or the case. Trust me, we're never interested in you. Why are they having those kids make all that stuff up? They've been told Dave, January 25th, 2019, 8 to 10:30 at night. While I'm crying in my room, the police always knew she's innocent before. They were talking about it at the station. Some guy was bailing this guy out for routine. Says she's innocent, I'll pay you a fine or bail. Said, no, the police already knew she was innocent, and they never want to arrest her. They knew somebody else did something wrong before. They knew somebody defrauded me and was scamming. They were going to tell him retired Judge Pete and his crooked friends thinking they're funny doing this. And no sitting judge would be ever stupid enough to say we wrote a quarter and watched somebody and took the right to privacy, the right to remain quiet, and right to an attorney, the right to a fair court trial, bail and bond, the right to privacy away. Because the state would take their license to be a judge and put them in jail, and the Department of Justice. The Bar Association and the Ohio Supreme Court would nail them. Nothing like that ever got filed because it's a made-up case. It's a fraud case. It's a scam by Judge Pete and his goons. It's a scam. And they brag they paid that agent off. Of course they did. Of course they did. As if they didn't come looking for me. As if they didn't know that guy went to payment the night before. As if they didn't find out about their dirty cameras and them photoshopping me and drugging me out. As if they didn't know those men on the other side of the duplex had a copy of my phone. And it was Dave's girlfriend's family doing it. That's it. They paid him to look the other way. You know, I think where they paid him off and he listed me informant, put me in police protective custody, I think they only thought that police department could see him. It's state. Mass Summers, watch the text. Stark County Sheriff's. Mention it. Minerva Undercover Police. Parkville. North Campus. It's a police investigation. With some officer in uniform call STAs. They're registered in the state. Protected home custody. That way, when I go to other towns, they know they're there to protect me. And trust me, like the investigator said, October 2020 at FedEx, for we all know this woman's innocent. They have got to the point in November. Some of the investigators were tired of it. Walked in Walmart, West Test, November 7th or 8th, 21. They found all those kids lying in 2018. They did. They're just mean jokes. They were acting out to impress a girlfriend. Like they said at Huntington Bank, October 5th, 21. They didn't want Melissa to get no money out of this. That's okay. They didn't want it. They knew they made everything up. They didn't want anybody out for it. They're just jerks. They're wrote up as just mean jokes. Mean games of pretend. because they wanted the house for the girlfriend. And that's it. There's no accusations. I can pass a BCI background check. It's right under FBI. I can get a CCW. I have a notary license. They made everything up. That agent opened that case. And somebody actually picks it up with integrity. There's so many crimes done in that legally booked house. It's like the Amish men with the beards. It's an oh my God. And that agent left her up there to die. I told you, I went up, but almost 2 years ago. Sat outside the Portage County Courthouse, and usually, if I have a problem, so I'm not seen talking to the police, I can set out my car, it's bugged. I'll say something, go in, the nice officer from Ravenna Courthouse, gray hair, mustache, dander. He'll say, hi, sweetie, I'll have the boys look into it. Okay? And he'll repeat back what I said. Okay? Well, I sit out there and I give my sister a great big statement of when the money disappeared, Okay? I said, I gotta go in and make a report. I told you that officer was in war. He had heard all that, right? So I go ask if I could talk to Judge Timothy Ludick because he did my divorce. He was busy and I couldn't see him, so I went to leave. He's like, I can't leave. I said, I gotta go. He's like, you can't leave. I said, I just need to leave. He's like, no, you gotta talk to them. Because they're the ones, for we all know this woman's innocent. You know? And, then they get the lady officers from Ravenna, go down to Abigail Watkins, Portage County prosecutor. Okay, a representative from the state case comes in with the file. I'm here for getting around the house. Lady officers walk off. They walk me out. She's like, well, Abigail says, I want you to go make a report to the Portage County Sheriff's. Okay, lady officers walk me out. You run around. Tell everyone you know what happened to you, and hold the FBI accountable. People got away with way too much. They left me up there to die. Well, I went back to Abigail. She's like, where's the sheriff's with Dave? Went back again, and she's like, Karen, with all these crazy people coming at you, I'd put you in the witness protection program, but you don't live in Portage County. She is the Portage County prosecutor over victim activists. And where are the sheriffs? Not a word. Because these people made all that shit up on their own. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a scam. They think they can lie. They had a quarter and watch me when there's no such thing. Okay? They think they can tell me they did a shower scene in the other room, and where I had bruises and drugs, they had fake sodium pentothal reports, and then laugh at me that it was ecstasy, human drugs, date rape drugs, slave drugs. You're wide awake walking around saying crazy stuff. Okay? And do what you're told. They could Photoshop people in and out of rooms. Okay? And we're going to put you in jail. Now you're in trouble. You're going to sort money out. I don't get in trouble for that. I don't get in trouble for that. I've never been questioned. I've never been accused. And I've never been prosecuted. And all these people are cray-cray. Even the police tell me not to worry about what they did was extremely illegal. And including the Portage County Sheriff's, none of our officers were ever in your home before a protective light case. No one was. And we had nothing to do with this. It would be illegal for you to be there. Yes. It'd be illegal for you to look or listen. Yes. I said, they're lying. They had a quarter. There's no such thing. Yes. There is no such thing. But those special protective light cases, unless you speak to everyone, you couldn't look or listen. They think the local police are stupid. And they're not. Anybody, no sitting judge would sign that. Because what they do is sign the arrest warrant for themselves. The state would get them. Having people stalked in private property and taking their civil rights away. There's no such thing. But and then them bragging they paid off that agent. Of course they did. That's why he didn't do anything. I never asked to take away. It was Dave's girlfriend's family doing all this shit. And friends. Okay? So, and they already knew the impersonating the federal officer, coming up with that scam of, my God, I had an FBI agent in my office, you know, and have them confront me to the copy of my phone. They have bad guys already knew, as if they didn't know that. Come on. I disappeared for 2.5 days because they had me so darked up in bed. How broke was up there? So, yeah, they did know. They did pay well off. And where Will was scrubbed, people need to start doing the right thing. No local officer will look at their shit. They'll say, oh, we have a court order. They can't find it. In a special protected life case, recorded with our statements in the state, they can't look or listen to it. And they'll report that if it's it has to be a sitting judge for violating people's civil rights and having people stalked in their home. And that judge just got herself locked up. And I was found innocent and carrying around the house of everything. Even in front of my other client, they were talking around him. Her whole family really did speak highly of her before. They've announced it several times in Walmart investigators. And then FedEx. We all know this woman's innocent. We interviewed her whole family. She's never hurt anyone. What are you talking about? Her family spoke highly of her before. What are you talking about? And they will tell them that. They got to the point they got to start screaming it. Because these people are playing a Ponzi scheme and a scam. Alright, I'm hoping to find someone to help me. In the Ponzi scheme, they were chanting outside my apartment. This is actually funny. It is actually a big fraud scheme going down here. And it's a big scam. This is actually funny. It's just a fraud scheme and a scam. It is. They're just scamming everybody into falling for their shit. Tell them to fuck off. Seriously. They need help. And they're insane. Even, like I said, the Massillon police said it's not admissible. Officer Reinhardt in Louisville laughed at it. And the Portage County Sheriff's like, we had nothing to do with it. We were not in your home. And we knew nothing about this. It would be illegal. Yeah. And none of our officers were in your home before a protected life case. Nobody was. Yeah. It's retired Judge Pete and his friends. Some drug dealers. That's it. They're not funny.